everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today we are doing Pan That Palette update, which I'm excited to share with you the progress I've made. We do have a pan percentage update this month. We also will be switching out companion palettes, so exciting update. Let's go ahead and dive in with my Pan That palette. If you are not aware, I am panning my ColourPop singles. So these all came from a variety of ColourPop palettes. I did a video 2 years ago, I can link it, where I kind of decluttered my palettes and pulled out my favorite shades, and that's where I made this palette. So let's do a comparison of what my palette looked like last month compared to this month, and then we can talk through all the shades. Okay, so I have been still very happy with this Pan That palette choice. I have been focusing still over here in the cooler tone. I kind of have mine split, so like warmer shades over here, cooler shades over here. I've definitely been keeping my day-to-day look pretty much with the cooler tone. Every week or so I probably do like one warmer tone look just to sprinkle something else in, and I suppose depending on what I'm wearing, but typically I've been kind of over here. So let's talk about the usage of every shade, and we can talk about how I've been using them. So I'll just go in the rows and we'll talk through them. So the first one here, this is called Top Down. This already had pan on it. I don't really think that it's expanded too much, or like maybe just a tiny bit. So last time I had 5 uses, now I have 9. So I've been using this one, again, just kind of subtly when I want just a little bit of a warmer vibe. Because I'm wearing kind of this burnt orange shirt today, I did more of a warmer eye look, more peachy than the cool tone. So that's an example of when I use that in my crease. Going over, this is called Idle Hour. It's this really pretty kind of light gold shade. I have this on my lid today. Last time I had 1 use, now I have 3 uses. So I've used it a couple of times. This one, this kind of orangey one, is called Morningside. I haven't used this one yet. I definitely will. It's just something that I usually kind of reach for more in the summertime or like late spring. So it's just not in season for me. But this shade here, this kind of cool tone, just, I don't know, it's a very light shade, but it's like a gray. This is called Boa. I use this all the time. So last time I had 15 uses, now I have 32. This is my starting shade typically when I'm going to do a cool tone look. So I'll put this in the crease and then build up from there. It just offers a little bit of a shadow. In the past, I've used a similar shade to contour. I don't really contour like my cheekbones or anything that much anymore, but like when I go maybe like on a vacation or we have a fancy dinner, I might like chisel it out. So I could see myself using that. My husband and I are going to Vegas in April, so I might do that. But anyway, all that to say, this has been just kind of a staple. The matte shades are definitely firmly packed. So while I've been using this a lot, I've been using it with a fluffy brush, and I'm very light with my makeup. So it's going to take a while to really see a dip, but I definitely can see more of a disturbance in the pan. Moving over, this shimmery shade with pan on it is called Silk Teddy. Last time I had 2 uses. I still only have 2, so I didn't use it this past month. The shimmery green, this is called Seashells. I haven't used it yet this year either, but being that we're going into March, I definitely think I'll do some looks with this on the lid. It is very pretty. It's not that green on the eyes. Like it just kind of passes as like a greeny toned gold, which is a reason why I've kept it and like it and have pan on it. And then at the end, this is No Bounds, and I haven't used this. This is a chocolate brown. I do already have pan on it though, so it hasn't been my main focus. Moving to the middle row over here, I've got, where are my notes? Hustler, which last time I had 7 uses, now it has 10. Again, kind of a peachier crease shade that I'll use on occasion. This shade here, this is called Coastline. It's this very kind of almost like iridescent kind of satin shade, and I use it in my inner corner. So no matter the eye look, this is the inner corner shade. Last time I had 20 uses, now I have 40. So I used it 20 times. I don't know. I mean, I suppose the pan is probably expanding some. I'm not really putting too much emphasis on using it in a certain spot. I'm just kind of like putting my brush in, and wherever it hits is where it's, you know, taking product from. The shade next to that one is called Tease Me, which I haven't used yet. And then we have Hote, which I also haven't used. That's that kind of like burnt orange shade. And then back over on the cool tone side, the next one is Pebble Beach. I use this one in the crease with boa. So Pebble Beach has 30 uses. Last time it had 16, so I've been using it quite a bit. This is Rumored. I hit pan on Rumored last time and I kind of have stopped using it. I am now focusing on this shade as a kind of taupey gray lid shade, just to try to get pan. So no uses on Rumored, still at 10. This one is called Prefix. I haven't used this one either. I think this will be pretty with the green. It's kind of got this like brown bronze to it, which is really pretty. It's just something that I haven't been reaching for. And then at the end, we have Velveteen, which last time I had 5 uses, now I have 7. I used it twice as a liner when I did kind of like a peachier look. So then the last row over here again in the warm section, we have Hot Gossip. I've used this 3 times. So last time I had 2 uses, now I have 5. And then we've got the Talk, which I really do like this shade. It's a beautiful peach shimmer. I already have pan on it. This is one I definitely want to finish up. I've used it twice, so I now have 3 uses. Last time I had 1 use. It hasn't been my main focus, but that's something I think I can definitely pan probably like April, May, and get some good solid use there. This one is Designer Duds, which is kind of like a darker peach. It's almost, I don't know how to really describe it, but it's really pretty. I have it on the outer third of my lid today, and this is called Designer Duds, if I didn't say that. So I have 6 uses. Last time I had 2, and this is one that I feel like if I use kind of in a dedicated manner, I definitely could hit pan on it pretty quickly. There's a nice dip in there. This is Fuzzy. I haven't used it. And then back on the cool tone side, so this is All For You. I've been using this quite a bit. So I have 21 uses. Last time I had 9. I use it in my crease. Sometimes I just use it to kind of like buff out. Sometimes I really go heavier if I want a little bit more purpley than like really kind of that cool tone brown. So that's been working well. And then like I said, this is the shimmer shade I've been really focusing on. This is called Snake Eyes. Last time I had 2 uses, now I have 17. So I can definitely see that there's more of a dip, but there is quite a ways to go. So I think in March, I will keep doing that cool tone look as kind of like my daily look, and then sprinkle in, you know, a green or like a peachy look when I feel like I need a break. But I really would love to see pan and Snake Eyes. And I feel like the best way to do it is just to keep using it all over my lid. And then I've got this kind of deeper purple. This is called Active Fool. I've used it 10 times. Last time I had 3 uses. I used it as a liner, and then a Spyglass at the end, which is the black, which I haven't used. So really, again, my focus has been over here on the cool tone side. My goal for this coming month is I really want to see some good progress in Snake Eyes. I don't know if I can quite hit pan in the next month. I mean, maybe if I really dug in there, but I try not to like overthink how I'm using the makeup. I like my brush to just go in, pick up the color. Like I don't want to be too specific about how I use it. So I just want to get some more usage there. I feel like I'm kind of in this season. It's still early with Pan That palette, where this is the time to just like get the reps in and just get the usage, right? This is going to be the foundational work for hitting pans later in the year. So that is the update here. No new pan in this palette, but I do have another pan to share with you here in a moment. So still happy with this, excited to keep working on it. And let's talk about my companion palette. So I choose a companion palette to use in addition to my Pan That palette for 2 months, and then I rotate. So for January and February, I have been using this ColourPop quad. This is the Sorbet quad, and it's got these really pretty shimmery, this one's kind of more like an icy purple, and this is more of an icy pink, and then of course these 2 matte shades. So I enjoyed reaching in here, again, kind of when I needed just a little bit of a change, a little bit of a break. Let's see here. So this one is Glazy. I've used it 6 times. Last time I had 4, so I used it twice this month. This one is Scooped. I used it once, and now I have a total of 5 uses this year. And then I used this kind of purpley mauve shade once. It's called Extra Syrup. And I didn't use Drizzled at all because it's similar to some of the shades in my Pan That palette. So this was nice for me to just have something to dabble with. Sometimes I would take like one of these shimmer shades and put it on top of Snake Eyes, or just like maybe like on the inner third, just to offer a little bit of variety. I really like this quad in the ColourPop formula. I'm obviously a fan of, I'm panning it, but this is really nice. And I would maybe get another one of these in the future, maybe like with some warmer tones. I think that these quads are just like the perfect little size. So that is the companion palette that I have been working on. I'm going to be taking this away and introducing a new companion palette. And this palette is newer to me. It's the newest palette in my collection. I bought it in the fall of last year. This is from Lunar Beauty, and this is the Nude Prism palette. So I have used it. These are the shades. To me, this is a beautiful spring palette. So lots of kind of light tones in here. There's definitely some warmth. So I'm excited to play with this. This is what it's looking like. I don't expect to hit pan or, anything like that, but I just think having some variety will be nice, especially with some of these like mattes. So there's 2 rows of mattes, and then obviously this is the row of shimmers, and they really have a good like reflect on them, which is fun. So I'm excited to play with this. Like I said, I still really want to focus on Snake Eyes, but I think I could intertwine some of these maybe purples into the crease just to change the look of Snake Eyes on my lid a little bit more. So this is going to be my companion palette for March and April, and I'm really excited about it. I don't have any particular goals. I'm just going to keep this in my makeup basket as an available option if I want to play with any of these shades. These are the extra shades I get to play with for the next 2 months. So with all of that being said, let me tell you about the pan I hit. I have been working on this Wet n Wild single. This is the shade Brulee, and I have hit pan on it. So there's some shiny pan for you to enjoy. So this is not in my formal Pan That Palette, project. This is actually in my project pan. If you don't know, I do a project pan. So if you like panning content, maybe check that out. My goal is to finish it all the way up for my project pan. So we'll still keep tracking this. But because I keep track of my pan percentage for all of my eyeshadow collection in this series, I wanted to mention it. So let's talk about that pan percentage. Last time we ended with 14 pans out of a total of 90 eyeshadows, which is 15.55%. And then I hit pan on this single, so now I have 15 pans out of 90 eyeshadows, which is 16.66%. So that's very exciting. And we're gonna update my chart. So in my planner, I just have a chart of all of my palettes, and we're going to do dashed lines for Brulee down here to note that it is panned, or I guess not all the way pan, but it has pan. So I do a dashed line to indicate pan, and then once I finish it all the way up, we'll color the whole spot in, like in a solid sense. But yeah, so there is my update with Brulee. And then if you haven't seen this before, haven't heard me talk about it, the different colors are the different years that I've hit pan. So I pick a color for the year, doing this kind of like raspberry shade this year. So yeah, exciting to see another pan. The Brulees are kind of like gimmies, like they're pretty easy for me to go through. I use this type of shade every day to set down my primer and help blend. So this is more of like a utilitarian type shade for me, but still counts and still pans. So very, very exciting. Okay, so that wraps up my update. Like I said, we'll be going into March with these 2 palettes. This is my Pan That palette, my companion. Excited to just kind of see where I end up and maybe discover some new eye looks. I would love to hear from you how your panning journey is going. If you are doing any sort of companion palette, how is that going? Are you rotating, or you just have maybe it set for a little bit longer? Yeah, would love to hear from you. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.